That night was silent. Only the ticking of the wall clock broke the stillness of the small room where a man named Ardi sat in deep thought. In front of him lay a stack of bills, as if mocking his weakness. For months he had worked tirelessly, yet the debt only tightened its grip. Ardi once had big dreams. He wanted to make his parents happy, to build his own business, to live a meaningful life. But reality told a different story. Monotonous routines, repeated failures, and a sense of hopelessness made him feel small. He often asked himself, what's the point of all this? Will my life always be this way? Yet it was in that darkness where his story truly began. Because sometimes the brightest light is not born from a great victory, but from one small step bravely taken when everything feels impossible. Ardi worked in a logistics warehouse with long hours, little pay, and a boss who rarely appreciated him. Every morning he left before sunrise and returned home late at night. His body was exhausted, his mind scattered, and his heart empty. Credit card bills piled up. His motorcycle loan was overdue, and even the small rented house he lived in was close to being locked for unpaid rent. He often sat in the corner of his room, staring at the ceiling, feeling like his life was a wheel spinning without direction. Friends began to drift away, not out of hatred, but because he was too consumed by his own struggles. Then news came from his hometown. His mother had fallen ill, his heart shattered. He wanted to go home, but he didn't even have enough money for the trip. That night, for the first time in a long while, Ardi cried. Failure, shame, and despair blended into one. Yet at that lowest point, a small seed of change began to grow. The next morning on his way to work, Ardi stopped by a second-hand bookstall. For some reason, his steps froze in front of a dusty shelf. His eyes landed on a simple book titled One Step Every Day. It cost only a few thousand rupiah. With the last bit of money in his wallet, he bought it. That night, he began to read. The very first sentence struck him deeply. Life doesn't change overnight. Life changes when you dare to take a step, even just one. From that day on, he made a promise to take one small step every day. His first step was writing down his dreams, paying off his debts, saving little by little, and making his mother happy. His second step was waking up earlier, 30 minutes before dawn, to exercise. His third step was bringing lunch from home to save money. At first, the steps seemed small, almost invisible. But one by one, they gave his life a new direction. His days began to feel different. His energy grew, his mind became clearer, and his confidence returned. From the money he saved, he began to slowly pay off his debts. People noticed the change. Colleagues joined him in exercising. Even his boss, who had always been cold, once said, "You look more enthusiastic these days, Ardi." Of course, the road was not always smooth. There were days when he felt tired, wanted to quit, or thought it was all pointless. But whenever that happened, he reopened the book and reminded himself of its words. Don't wait until you're ready. Start with what you have, where you are. A year passed. Ardi had paid off most of his debts. More than that, he dared to dream again. With the little savings he had, he started a small online business selling household goods. At first it was small, but consistency brought him more and more customers. Nights once filled with tears turned into nights filled with plans. The happiest moment came when he was finally able to return to his hometown and bring medicine for his mother. When she looked at him with teary eyes, Ardi realized that all those small steps had created a huge impact. His story is not just about money or success. It is about the courage to start, even with just one small step. Too often we delay change with excuses, not ready yet, not strong enough, not enough capital. But in truth, what we need is just one step. Today, right now. Because life is not about giant leaps. Life is about the thousands of small steps we take each day. Today, Ardi still walks the same road, but he is no longer the man trapped in despair. He is a man who understands that true strength is not about how far we can run, but about the courage to begin moving. And you, who are reading this, perhaps you too are at a low point. Remember, change is not something that happens tomorrow, not something that comes from outside. Change begins today from one small step you dare to take. If this story touched your heart, share it. Pass it on to your friends, family, or anyone who needs hope. And most importantly, take one small step today. Because one small step can change your entire life.